This is an Ender 3 Pro that I brought a year ago for £80. It came with 10 rolls of filament, a ton of upgrades and some spare parts, and in this video we're going to attempt to install the upgrades, do a full service on it, and try and get the printer running. But the first thing we're going to do is upgrade this extruder. With this thing, this is the upgraded one. I have no idea if you have to code it in after. It came off another 3D printer that I had that was a bit buggered, so I'm hoping it still works. We should probably unplug it before we touch anything on it. And let's undo a few screws. Now it looks like it's literally just that connector. Oh, I think it's just some hex screws at the top. There you go, we can pull that out. Oh, this is already really loose. Oh, there's some filament in there. And this thing's really dusty. It's a proper Creality, what would you call this? Head? It's not the head, is it? Extruder? Yeah, something like that. Whoever owned this, I think they did care about it because it's also got a Creality bed leveler. I think that's what that thing is anyway. Oh, there you go. No, I have to take it off, don't I? You can tell I've done this before, can't you? Alright, so that comes off, and then what happens to this? Oh, there we go. Now we can get to the other screws. There we go. Right, now we're getting somewhere. Wait, is this right? I don't even know if this is right, to be honest with you. I'm just sort of winging it. That is a bit crusty. Is there breadcrumbs in that? The new motor it's a bit chunkier, but it should be quieter. I don't even know what the difference is between these two. I don't even know why this is a better one, but apparently it is. Google says it's good, so it must be. I think I might need a bracket for it. Yeah, alright, well, I'm going to take the bracket off the dodgy 3D printer so we can swap it over. Oh, I've just dropped something. So I got the other bracket off the 3D printer, and if you look at it, these holes are slightly more further apart than these ones. I mean, I don't know how easy you can tell, but we do need to swap these over to get more clearance to it. So to do that, we have to take them 3 screws out and then 2, and then this should just lift up, and then hopefully we can just slot this one in. Okay, so they're all tightened up now. The thread inside this actual bar has cross-threaded, so I can't tighten this screw. But we should be alright. There might just be a slight bit of play in there, but I could always replace it later on. So now let's see if this extruder will fit. I think this is the extruder anyway. Yeah, there you go. This bracket might have been slightly different to the other then, because there is barely any clearance there. There we go, that's the one. Well, it seems to work. At least we can install it anyways. I could always switch back to the other one if this one's a bit dodgy, but I think we should be fine. You know what? Let's just replace the hose completely, because I've got a new one, so we might as well. Literally just pull that out, and let's cut these cable ties. I've got some more, so we should be alright with that. And there we go, there's the old tube. Okay, the filament doesn't want to come out. Now we can replace it with this stuff. This you do have to cut to size, so we can either cut it identical to this or make it slightly longer. So we trim it about there, I reckon. Now, will it push in here? I'm hoping it does. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that fits in there. So now this is in, we can replug the motor in and then cable tie these. Actually, should we do that? Let's cable tie them last because I do need to replace the fan in there. So that's the upgraded extruder installed. Now, let's replace this fan. And to do that, I'm guessing it's just whatever screws you see at the front and it should just pop off. And that's what the extruder bit looks like. It's quite dusty, and yeah, there you go. You can see the fan that snapped off. So let's take these 4 screws out, and this thing should just pop out. And it needed replacing anyway, because if you listen, the bearings are a bit loud. And it feels a bit gritty, so yeah, it's definitely the original one. So let's snip this off. We're going to take this from here, and then we're going to cut this off because that'll be way too much. And strip the ends off. Now let's twist these wires. Now actually we could twist and tape it, or we can connector block it. I think connector block will be a bit more safer. So let's go for that option. There we go, and then screw this fan in. I know these washers weren't for this, but we might as well use them here. So now we've got a better extruder and a better fan. Let's try and install this. Now I don't know if this is for this printer, but it came with it, so I'm assuming it is. Is it even any good? I have no idea. I might have to download some custom firmware for it. We'll see what happens. It looks like these 2 screws take this old screen off. And let's unplug this. And this was this might be a new screen for it. I don't know, unless they brought it in 2020. So let's put that to one side and see if this has the same connect. It does. Oh, but it's different there. So we're probably going to have to open this thing up. I think it's just that single screw there, then it comes off. Is that right? Oh no, feels like there's something else holding it in. Let's slide this back and have a look. Oh, forgot to mention this was also added in there. You know what? I had no idea that's how that works. That's literally a micro SD card in the micro SD card slot, and it's turned it into one of them. It does look like that these hold that on. There are 2 small screws under there as well that I've just seen, so let's get them off. Now, yeah, I think that is coming out. Ah, but so is everything else. I don't know how well you can see any of this, but them connectors are connected to the top lid. I can see the screen cable. It looks like it should just pull out. I'm going to get the pliers on it. Ah, there you go. Just put some pliers on it, it's come out. Oh, it was hot glued in. Alright, that makes a bit more sense why it's a bit stuck. Alright, so this is the old screen cable, which we can put in the bin. And this is the new screen cable. Literally, I'm assuming... Does that screen go there? That makes more sense. Alright, yeah, I was going to screw it onto the outside bit. So I'm going to have to take this off. I've plugged the screen in, so hopefully it should all work when I turn it on. But we're going to have to take this tray out, because it's in the way the mounting point where the screen needs to go. You can just take these off, and then it should be able to just slide out. I'm hoping so anyway. Oh, this is a bit tough. Come on. There we go. Now they should slide out. Yeah, there we go. Put that off to one side. Probably going to put that in the bin. Alright, yeah, this belt is cracking a bit, but it's still functioning, so let's put this thing back on. Am I going to have to hammer it in? When tightening this, you want to make sure that this belt has a load of tension on, or else it's just going to slip off the motor when it tries to move. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it out slightly. I'm going to put a bit of tension on it, and then I'm just going to screw these down. That's a good bit of tension. Oh, I see how we're meant to mount it. Alright, yeah, I thought I did something wrong. So I want this one here. Yeah, there we go. And then I sort of want this one. You know what? That'll do. Anyways, now we can plug this 3D printer in and see if the screen works. I'm hoping it does. The screen's going on. That fan is a lot quieter. It does actually sound better. I don't know what's going to happen here, but... Alright, so I've done some Googling, and the reason why this thing is just staying on the loading screen is you need to update the firmware in order to use it. So if we come over here, I have got a how-to video up, and we're going to try and follow it. So this is the screen. So all we do is download this, apparently. So we're going to open it up. I've got a BL Touch, so apparently all I need to do is copy this file to this SD card, which was already in there. I'm going to try it with all these 3D prints on there, but... So let's shove that on here. There we go. I think that's all it needs. So now we're going to plug this SD card in, turn it on, and it should just do it all itself. Let's see if it works. Maybe I do need to delete the 3D prints that are on there. And it should sort itself out. Oh, there you go. Oh, it worked. Alright, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Alright, well, I've got a touch screen 3D printer now. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Let's turn this off and put all this back together. Alright, now that this is on, what we're going to do is change the nozzle on this thing. I've never changed this one, and it came with some, so we might as well change them. I've just realised it also comes with different coloured covers. Should we go for a yellow, black, or should we go for a brown one? What's the size of a normal nozzle? I don't actually know. Should we Google it? It's normally 0.4 mil. Should we use a brass one or should we use a silver one? The brass will look better with the yellow, so let's use one of these. These are a bit softer though, I think, so it's probably going to wear down a bit quicker, but I don't really matter. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to heat it up. Oh, you know what? You can literally just type in the value you want everything. That's actually quite good. All the temperatures are there. Oh, I've just turned it Chinese. Oh, there you go. Alright, I thought I messed it up then. It does look a bit like an old UI, but we can get used to that. Now we just have to wait for it to heat up, and literally, we just unscrew the old nozzle, and then just screw this one back on. So, as we heat it up, it should also warm up the filament, and yeah, there we go. Should be easy to remove. And there we go. The nozzle doesn't look too bad, but it could be blocked. I have no idea. So now let's screw this one on it. Hopefully it doesn't conduct. Yeah, there we go. Now, just snug it up with some pliers. That'll do. Okay, that's a bit hot now. I've just dodged it. The nozzle does actually look a bit... I don't know if you can see it, but it does look a bit off-center. And now we can just put this yellow thing on it. I have no idea what that cover does, but must do something. We just need to level the bed. Well, I say level the bed. We need to put the glass bed on first, which I've got here. This also came with it, so pretty good for what I paid for it. Yeah, look at that. That is literally brand new. It's definitely been used once because there is a score mark there. Now, I do only have 3 clips for some reason, so that's going to have to do like that. Look at it, it does look like that. That's meant to be in there, so... Something's happened. I'm assuming it's just them 2 hex bits, and then you should just be able to slot it down. Nope, that's way too big. Now let's tighten them, and then we should be good. I still need to put the bottom 2 screws in the motherboard area. I don't actually know what that bit's called. And now we can sort the cable ties out. When doing this, you don't want to put it too tight. You want to leave a bit of slack because this is going to be moving around a lot, and you don't really want stuff ripping out of place. You know what? That should be good there. So we can snip all these cable ties off. And now we can start to level the bed. And because it's got this BL Touch thing, hopefully it should do it itself, but we do have to also make sure that this is straight. Otherwise, it's just not going to print properly. I'll shove auto level on. Whoa. So after leveling the bed, I've had a look under here and realised, I don't know how well you can see it, but those wheels are quite worn. So what we're going to do is take this bed off, replace them wheels and the belt because it is cracking a bit, and then we should be good to go. So to do that, I actually have no idea. What do we do? We could just take this bit off and then slide it out. I mean, we have to replace the belt anyway, so we're just going to do that. So the belt tension is off, so this should, you know what, we'll just leave it slack. We'll probably have to take the bed off. So let's take these off. We are definitely going to have to re-level the bed after. Okay, this should, yeah, there you go, should lift out. Oh, well, these springs have, okay, I keep dropping them. These springs have been upgraded to some harder ones. So now let's take this belt off, if it comes off. It is a bit cracked, to be fair. It's not like really bad, but it's on its way out. It's starting to fray a bit there, and I don't know how well you can see it, but there are also some slight cracks on it. Comparing it to the one we're going to put on, you can definitely tell the difference. This feels a lot smoother than this one does. I've actually never replaced a 3D printer belt, so... Actually, can we slide this bed off? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so... if you look when I do this, see that black stuff? It's bits of plastic from the wheels. So these definitely did need replacing. They are quite worn. Anyways, so we're just going to replace these with the wheels off the donor printer. Which ones are they meant to go in? On this one it goes like that, and on the donor printer they're a bit more compact. Let's have a quick Google. Oh, it doesn't add. Let's have a look how this guy's wheels are. Oh, so his are in the middle, like this one. I mean, what's the difference, really? Anyways, we're just going to leave them in this orientation. So let me know in the comments if it's wrong. Yeah, I think it looks alright. Actually, is there any play in this bed? That's the main thing. No, not really. Found a spanner that actually fits. So what we need to do is move these so they are off center. All right, now we got to line them up. Wait, has the Ender 3 got a smaller shaft size? I think it might have. Has it? You got a... Oh. Alright, this guy's on about springs, but his wheels are further apart, so I think these shafts are different. So what we're going to do then is swap the wheels over, and then we should be alright. So the old wheels are off. If we have a little look, that one seems alright. This one's a bit dodgy. I'm not sure how you can see this, but the actual wheel depth, this one is a bit thinner. Yeah, this one's a bit thinner as well. But so hopefully changing them old wheels out with these ones should make it print a bit better. Don't know if you have to oil these wheels or not. So comparing the donor wheels off the original ones, they're definitely a bit thicker. This one's a bit scored. Yeah, we might leave this one off to one side. So is this one actually. Yeah, these are also quite worn. So what we could do then is take the wheels off the y-axis, because these are less used, because all they do is move it up and down. These do look in better condition as well. So we're going to replace 3 of these, and we'll just find a good one in here to sort of put it on. And there we go. So these are definitely less worn than the others. There is some slight score marks on there, but you can't feel that with your finger, so we should be alright. So now we can put these back on, put the spacer on, and then just shove these wheels on it. So these wheels are back on. They do look a lot better than the others did. So now what we can do is loosen, or should I say adjust, so we can slide it on. I think it was this way on. Yeah, there's definitely less play in that. That did move a bit, but now it doesn't move quite as much. So these adjustable ones, I put them in the wrong way around, so I've just corrected them, and now we're all flat. Before this one was a bit raised. We should be fine now. So I think the small part goes to the left, and let's see if it slides on. Yeah, there you go. So when you tighten these wheels, you don't want them too tight, and you don't want them too loose. This one is currently on a bit too tight. This is way too loose, so let's tighten it a bit. That's still too loose. Okay, so now let's do the other one.
That one's way too tight. You can feel the resistance in it as well if it is too tight. I think that's where we want it. There you go, that's where we want it. Just so we can barely move it whilst it's holding still, but also so it doesn't wobble. So they're good. Now we can reinstall the belt. I think we just literally have to slide it. I think we slide it in from that end, to be fair. Oh well, maybe let's try that. Yeah, that feels a lot better to slide in. Now we can twist it round. Slide it in between this and then literally put it in there. These got different belts. Oh wait. It's because the tensioner, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. That makes more sense. And then the belts are sorted. So now we can put this tensioner back on. Alright, so now we got a new belt on. It actually makes a noise. I don't know if you can hear that, but you can actually hear the tension in it. So now we've done that, what we're going to do is, we're not going to install the springs that were originally in here. We're going to use these rubber grommets. Now, you can just get a silicone spacer that's made for this Ender 3, but I haven't got any. So what we're going to do instead is use these stuff. These are used for, if you want to thread some wires through a metal hole, you would drill the hole out and put this inside the hole and put the wire in, just so the metal doesn't cut the wire to pieces. And these are all relatively the same size, so I think we could literally just use these in these four corners and then just let the BL Touch level the bed. So let's take this spring out here. Should we put one rubber grommet in or two? Two is about the same size as the spring. Should we put two in? You know what? Let's put two in. You got to stick to the similar sizes. Now you can literally put them two in and then put this on. Now, do I recommend doing this? I have no idea because I don't think anyone's ever tried it. So it might work, it might not work. We're probably going to be the first to find out. Oh, I don't know why I'm putting these on here first. I should probably put them on the bed first because they're going to fall off, aren't they? Let's have a go. You know what? I think that's actually worked. I think it has raised the bed up a bit though. How much build space we got? That's still plenty of room. I don't think I'm going to be building anything bigger than that, to be honest with you. So let's put these back on the bottom. And if I do need to build something bigger, I'll just take one off and use one. It does leave a nice gap underneath. I don't know what for. Oh, actually, they do compress quite a bit when you put these on. We might have to re-level the bed manually with them in. Unless we just make it so it's snug on each one. Then it should be about flat. We'll just make it so it's just snug. The bed's got a bit of movement. Is that flat? I have no idea. Alright, so now that this bed has the rubber grommets and this new belt is on, let's have a look at these other wheels and see what they're like. That one seems fine. This one's fine. Oh, this one over here is a bit loose. I can't see any tensioner at the bottom. So now let's check if these are alright. This wheel's fine. That one's fine. The one at the bottom's fine. That seems alright. Oh, that's really loose. Just sort that out. That is, well, it's tighter. There you go. I think I've sorted it. That one was really loose though. Now we've done all that, let's replace this belt. I have tried to tighten it, and because it's cracking, it's really loose. So let's sort that out. It's definitely on its way out because it is cracking. You can see it better in person. I'm not sure how well you can see it on the camera. There's the newer one, and yeah. Anyways, let's put this one in the bin, and let's put this new-ish belt on. Now we can slide that one under, pull this one out. Something's not right. Is this even the right belt? It must be. No, I've looked at it and the belt is actually bigger on this. Alright, Google says they're both different sizes, but if you look at this, these two belts seem to be the same sizes for some reason. I don't know why. I would have thought that this one would be a bit smaller like this one is, because this definitely fitted on the other printer, unless it's something to do with the tensioner. Since that new belt didn't fit, we're just going to reuse the old one. We've got two to compare it to, so I'm going to pick the one that's in better condition. It does look like the right one is in slightly better nick, but in some places it is a bit bad. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put the right one on and see how long it lasts. It's pretty solid. It definitely feels like the motor's moving it more. So now what we're going to do is grease up this slide pin. So literally get it on your brush and then just paint the top bit of the thread. Try not to get it on your filament, which is right next to it. There is also no oil whatsoever on here. Now we just bring it up. And the lubricant that we put there should just drag it all across the thread. And then you want to do the same with the bottom as well. And there we go. So now it's all serviced and everything has been tightened. Well, does it actually print well? Right, so this is what the print looks like now, and if you look at it, it's actually pretty decent. It's definitely better than what it was printing before. I don't know if you can see that. There's a load of lines in there. The bed definitely isn't level, so I'm probably going to take them rubber feet off and replace them back with the springs, or try and get some silicone ones. So that's going to be it for this thing. Let me know if you want to see more on it. Thank you people for watching. Please like, subscribe, all that stuff. And we'll see you next week. Transition.